What's up, YouTubers? This is BlackBoss91 coming to you with another Naruto video for you guys. Chapter 655, and this chapter takes off pretty much right after Obito gets all the Bijus ripped out of him. Now, I thought it was kind of funny how it ended up with Obito, because he's just laying there on the ground and just still wondering what's going on. He's pretty much half dead. Well, depends on how you look at it. But once he's on the ground, you got Sasuke. He goes running straight for him, and Naruto is just telling him like, "Whoa, wait, what are you doing? Like, stop." And the funny thing is with Naruto is that I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just let Sasuke do what he gotta do? Just go kill him. Sasuke wasn't even about talking. He was just like, what? I'm just gonna go out, run after them, and just stab him in the chest or whatever he was gonna do. Probably have like Chidori on the blade or whatever, and just kill him. And Naruto being the main character, being the savior, he wasn't gonna let that happen, but before he could even jump in to do anything to Obito, Kakashi comes right out of the vortex, the Kamui, and he's right there about to like, you know what? I'm about to stab this guy in, and I'm like, man, like perfect timing, Kakashi, perfect timing. He patched himself up real nicely, and came like, you know what? And right before he actually stabs him, Minato comes in and stops him, and the crazy thing is that I thought Minato didn't have his Naruto Fox chakra anymore, but I noticed from the chapter, and I guess you guys noticed, that he had that Biju cloak on because there was like some flames or whatever coming off from his body, and he was telling him pretty much, you should be the one to talk to Obito and kind of convert him back to his old ways. And Kakashi kind of reminisced and thought about his friend and everything like that. But the crazy thing about that is this is something that I found that was weird, a little bit of strange with the actual pose that he was in. It shows overview of Kakashi on top of Obito, like he's like riding him, and I'm like, probably that's just me, probably dirty thoughts. That's just how it looked. But in seeing, I'm like, okay. But I digress. They just start talking about pretty much, why is Naruto so different from me? Like, what makes him different from what I went through? He was lonely, Obito was lonely, Naruto was lonely. They pretty much had like almost the same lives. And the thing that Kakashi pointed out to Obito was the fact that he has his friends to back him up, his comrades, the people in his village. Everyone is behind Naruto. And the thing about Naruto is that he is the light. He draws people to him, so they want to do good, and they're gonna help him. So if he falters off his path, he has his friends, his comrades, his village people, his fellow members all together to help him. And that was the thing that Obito was kind of like, oh man. And Kakashi kind of agreed with them as far as when he lost Rin, when Obito lost Rin, he just had no light in his life. And Kakashi was like, the same thing kind of happened to where I lost, Minato, Rin, you. A lot of people he started losing, so he started to lose hope too. But Naruto keeps him in place. And we see Naruto, he's on the tree, the Tsukiyomi. He's at the very top, and him and his clones are doing like a Rasen Shuriken. And pretty much around the end of the chapter is that you see like this very light spark at the top of the the tree where the Tsukiyomi will be performed, and then afterwards you see not giant, my bad, footsteps on the ground, like multiple different footsteps, and that's the end of the chapter. So the thing about that was, at first I thought it could have been Rin, because the way how they were talking in the chapter, I don't know, maybe that was just me, like from what I got from the chapter, and then about Rin and Minato's there, Kakashi's there, Obito. It's like all three of them are there. It would be great if Rin can reunite with them, the whole team. But if she could have been resurrected as an Edo Tensei, or maybe she didn't die. But that was just a theory. I thought from the footprints, I'm like, where those footprints came from. But then I started to realize, wait a minute, there are too many footprints to be just one person. Because I reread the chapter and I saw it. I'm like, okay, my theory about Rin was just totally off. So it's multiple footprints, and it's the Ninja Alliance. They're running towards the tree, and there's like a light shining on that pathway. So I guess it's kind of like Naruto will lead them to that light path, and he's basically the Messiah, their savior. So I think it's interesting. I'm kind of I don't really care too much about Naruto doing the Rising Shuriken. I thought it was a little. I wasn't a really big fan of that, but I think it's good where it's. I think it's good for right now where Kishimoto has left off with the series, because he's going on a hiatus up until the new year, either the end of December or probably just next year, 2014, and that's where he's going to pick back up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with the series, like how he's going to really take this into another direction. It's probably going to give him some time, a little time, to break, just relax a little bit, also plan out what he wants to do, and hopefully he does something amazing with it, something bigger and better than he did for 2013. And I'm ride or die with Kishimoto. Whatever Kishimoto does, I'm okay with, as long as he makes up for it at the end result. So that's my thoughts on the chapter for Naruto 655. And if you have any thoughts, comment, rate this video, and subscribe to my channel. And this is Black Boss 91 signing out.